It is your boy Triple G93 here, giving you a Halo Wars 2 game where Kinsano and Johnson happen to be the bestest of friends. True buddies, where you're going to see some great teamwork and camaraderie end up happening between these two heroes. Starting off, we have ourselves as myself playing as Kinsano on the left hand side as green. We have light blue that is possibly playing as Johnson, and then we have ourselves a Covenant on the right hand side as blue. And we will be going up against orange, who is playing as UNSC, yellow as Covenant, and red as UNSC. As the game progresses, we'll find out more about their leaders and whatnot. Want that to kind of be a surprise, but the way we are opening up is a scout right away to not only go ahead and see what the enemy is doing. We've made one extra marine. We're also making a jackrabbit. We're going to see if we can pressure the left hand side and then also try and get additional scouts. So we're trying to play a little bit greedy by getting some additional units early to see if we can capitalize on this on that side of the map. And these marines are just going to be casually heading on over to see if there's an opportunity to go ahead and grab the resources that are there. And this is a good play. Usually you just see two marines and a jackrabbit, but in this time around it's actually pretty empty right now. So the jackrabbit's going to go on ahead to see if there's any reinforcements coming in, and we're going to use our remainder of our marines to go after the resources around the map. And so we're going to continue the marine production, and we're going to have a third supply pad. And the idea behind this is to consistently be producing some units early on to see if we can go ahead and have an opportunity to pressure down the line. Very similar to what we had with the grunt play in the previous video with the Atriox, where we were making a lot of grunts early on in the game in order to go ahead and have more of a presence around the map. And because of this, the jackrabbit kind of stops the marines from getting all the power that's there, which means that's additional power we're going to get to have. And surprisingly, we are going to go for a second base with only one gen, but that gen is upgraded. So honestly, this is a very interesting build. I actually like it. Mainly because we have the jackrabbit, the scout, but if they are going pretty aggressive early on, there is chances to punish. But if this base is able to come up, then we can go ahead and get a barracks up, and we'll be able to respond back more accordingly. So we're going to continue to work on our economy, but all in all, this is actually looking pretty good. Orange does look like they're going to start going after that node right in front of us, and we do have red capturing the node in the middle side. And so now we have dark blue actually trying to grab the second base expansion from orange, so this is going to be pretty interesting. We do have a marine in the garrison on that side, which is going to be nice to see, and maybe this base is going to be a distraction base. I really am curious on how that's going to play out, because yellow and red are looking to push the mid lane as a whole, and it looks like orange is Serena and has a barracks up. So that means I'm going to go ahead and go double barracks on my side of the map to get myself ready for orange when that time comes. For now though, we're going to continue to be patient. Yellow does look like they're showing economy as a whole. Red, we know, has a hero, and we have to pull our marine back just a little bit because the garrison is actually attacking our marine. But now we have 3 out of the 5 nodes so far, but it does look like we're going to lose the node on the right hand side. But with the continuous production of marines, I still think we have an opportunity over here to go ahead and try and make our presence made. So far, no expansion base is being captured by yellow or orange so far, trying to pressure dark blue's base, which is still incredibly weird that they got that base as a whole. But with what we've got enough marines to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and do something here. But that's a little bit of choppers that are showing up here. We are going to go ahead and try and get the grenade ability right away, and because of that, we're going to have to just retreat just a little bit until we have that grenade ability ready. And now we're going to start making some Hellbringers as well. But with the amount of supplies that we have right now, I'm really surprised that we have not bothered to make that second gen. And speaking of which, yellow and dark blue are starting to double the right hand side. Hero is coming in from their side to go ahead and reinforce. We will lose the power node most likely on that left hand side, but can we at least defend the base on the right hand side for dark blue? Because now dark blue's third expansion base, which is where orange is supposed to be, is going to start getting hit by cryo bombs. I mean cryo bringers, whatever they're called. And now we have to try and defend this base on this side of the map. So They have a good spread of Marines, they have some choppers, and the hero is going to be a little bit of a problem, but we do have grenade abilities this time around, so we're going to be able to get rid of the choppers right away, which will be nice to see. But now Atriox has shown up as well, and the ice barrier has frozen up some of our units, so this is going to be very unfortunate. We are going to go with red line so we can get ready to have units pump out a little bit faster. But all in all, I don't see a situation where I'm going to be able to stop Dark Blue's base from being captured, from being destroyed. Mainly because I have to deal with orange on my side of the map in case orange starts to push. So I'm going to be getting some snipers up. We're going to continue marine production. And honestly, the build order is not really looking too hot. Upgrading all 4 of those supply pads wasn't really worth it. I'm floating a lot of supplies right now and I'm not really using them. And here comes the push that's going to be happening from orange. And we do have our units being sped up a little bit because of Kinsano. We have reinforcements coming in. Now we just have to micro some of our units back, so then that way we can get the best engagement that we can. It looks like with our micro, we are able to go ahead and push orange back completely and see if we can try and get a counterattack going. But their hero is over there as well by Serena. Ice Barrier is going to come down. And speaking of which, red and orange are Serena right now, with yellow being Atriox. But we're going to see if we can try and get this push on this side. We have plenty of snipers to deal with the infantry if they do show up. There are some mines, but we have vision of it. So now all we have to do is just try and get rid of all these infantries over here. Grenade abilities is being used across the army over here, which is nice to see. Going to keep getting the upgrades set up for our Hellbringers in order to get those dispersion nozzles. But right now we're still taking a lot of damage from the hero. And right now, there's not really much we can do. We're still trying to split to the best of our ability. We have snipers still doing a magnificent job damaging the infantry. But right now, it kind of looks like we're stalling with our attack a little bit. Yellow has shown up with some choppers as well. And this is going to be a little bit unfortunate because they're starting to tackle our snipers that we have going on over here. But finally, grenade abilities are out and we are able to save at least one of the snipers. And with dispersion nozzles, we're going to at least be able to clear out the remainder of the infantry that's going to be on this side. But now there's going to be snipers coming in from orange. Dark Blue is pinging that they need help. And so I'm pinging to let them know, hey, I am heading right over. I see the hero. And that's also me probably being like he's panic pinging. And that stuff gets me a little bit anxious. Okay, I'm sorry. Someone has to say it. Panic pinging is never a good idea. This is why I'm pinging myself as well. But we're going to send our reinforcements over. Surprisingly, I hope we are at Tech 2. I almost missed that. And now the Mantis has shown up with the Great Mac on the hero. And we're going to be able to clear out what is here. At least that's what it looks like. And Cleansing Beam is coming down, but Mechanical Overcharge, it's just going to wipe all of that, which is going to be very nice to see. So they tried to go after the base, but with what we have, we were able to go ahead and push that off. And now we have a relatively large army where we can go ahead and try and counterattack Red's second base if they have it. But we're going to need some reinforcements to come in, and this is where this lovely partnership between Kinsano and Johnson, you get to see how it turns out. We have combat tech marines, which if you're going to be using infantry, definitely is worth going. We do have a lot of supplies still that we're floating here, but with Nightingales, this is going to help provide some heals. And yes, they do have some air over here that's starting to be made by yellow, but with our combat tech marines, we're going to easily be able to work on the shields, get that eliminated, and keep the pressure going. Infantry level 2 will be out. Shout out to Ginger Brian, man, sending an invite to go ahead and play with me. Too bad I'm in a beautiful relationship right now with Johnson over here, and he ends up joining the party. But the base is going to be in shambles right now by yellow. And now orange is going to look for the opportunity for the counterattack. We don't really have much turrets, and this is a bad play by myself. The fact that I was floating all that supply but did not bother to go ahead and make turrets early on is going to be very unfortunate. So we're going to go ahead and send some units into the teleporter to go ahead and deal with orange and hope that we can at least start working on reinforcing this area, because they have siege set up, but it is something that I do think we can go ahead and fight back with. Now, There's also the play to go ahead and push yellow, but with what we've got, we're going to go ahead and at least clear this side of the map before we take the teleporter to go ahead and focus on yellow. And Aatrox is doing a great job clearing up the snipers that are going to be on this side of the map. And even though this base has taken a little bit of damage, it does look like we're going to be able to clear out all the Kodiaks that we have that's going to be on this side of the map. Hellbringers are doing a magnificent job just burning away on those Kodiaks, and now there's just a hero remaining. And looking at the map, light blue is doing a great job cutting off reinforcements from yellow, which is going to make things relatively easier for me. We do have 2 siege turrets, which is nice to see, and we're going to use the Nightingale Y move to put on the hero so that way the hero can't attack us anymore. The hero is no longer going to be a problem for us. And so now we can go ahead and just focus it down. And actually, it's kind of weird how the hero is actually able to hit through the smoke screen. So Cryo is just wrecking my army right now. We did put a heal down, which is nice to see, but unfortunately we took so much damage. We're finally going to get Kinsano up. But with the army that we have, we can at least try and make some moves over here. Because honestly, we're in this weird situation, right? Orange's second base was taken out, but now red has shown up to go ahead and deal with a push on this side coming out of nowhere, honestly. And that's pretty interesting on how that's being played. So we're going to go ahead and try and take out as much infantry as possible, follow them all the way through, but they do have some siege, and the Mantis was able to go ahead and take out what is left over there. But now the hero is going to be on this right hand side, and red did lose their second base, mind you, which is nice to see. And we are able to use the Nightingale for the Y move to take Aatrox off the garrison so we can go ahead and focus this down. Now we're going to go back to this partnership between Johnson and Kinsano. Johnson has some mech and they're getting some Colossus. So now can we go ahead and capitalize off of this, because yellow doesn't even have a proper second base, and even though for us we're still on infantry tech, we still have an opportunity to go ahead and do some serious damage in this game. So looking at the map, we have right lane pretty much won. Red is on one base and does look like they are on infantry tech. So that means we just have to look for an opportunity for us to go in and try and counterattack, or just put in the pressure right away, and instead of waiting for them to come to us, we want to go ahead and go to them. And they have quite a lot of snipers here. They have 6 snipers, and it looks like a cleansing beam is going to come down. We're going to go with some splits, and we're going to lose some infantry because of it, unfortunately. Great turnaround on their part and great engagement on me, but at least I'm distracting the enemy so far, because dark blue is going to be engaging red on that right side of the map. And I also wonder how long that generator has been sitting there unupgraded. Finally, we're spending all our supply, we're getting the turrets up, and our army still is just infantry tech for now. And a great cleansing is coming down, at least on somebody. I have no idea. But we're getting the power nodes back. We got the middle node. We can work on the right node. And it looks like yellow's going to try and reinforce. And seeing what orange is trying to do on this left-hand side to get some siege going, we're going to have to see if we can stop this sooner rather than later. We don't have much Cyclops, and they have tanks, so this is a little bit scary. Not sure if we have fortification upgrades either, but we're going to go ahead and come in here and try and do some damage and stop the enemy from getting any further in their push. Max is going to come down, which is going to be very nice to see. We do have a Y move for our Kinsano if we choose to use it, but the siege has been laid down, and this is going to be a little bit problematic. Our army is getting shredded on this side, and so all we can do honestly is just fall back. This is what happens when you stay on infantry tech a little bit too long, but the Johnson's doing a great job getting a good push in the middle of the map, and our garrison infantry is also doing a good job, at least providing some constant pressure. And so my job is, can I go ahead and get rid of these Kodiaks? We got rid of a second one, or at least one of them, but can we get rid of another one? They're posturing pretty well on our side. We're going to continue with Cyclops production and finally get fortification level 1, but this is still going to be a little bit problematic because we have to deal with this hero that's going to start setting up, use a Y move, and start slowing everything down. But We do have some Cyclops that have popped out. We have Kinsano, we have some Nightingales, and we do have plenty of siege turrets that are going to also be applying some pressure. Meanwhile, Johnson's doing a great job getting rid of Yellow's second base, and now they're looking to go ahead and take out the hero on that side of the map. And now I've made a little bit of air only because of the fact that there wasn't much anti-air as a whole. And even though I don't have all the air upgrades we need, I do think this is going to be enough to try and take out the enemy. The restoration drone is making this so much harder to take out. And surprisingly, all Orange has to do is try to push. And they have not chosen to do so. The anti-vehicle turrets are doing an alright job. And finally, we are able to get rid of the hero. Transport job is coming in to help rescue us, which means Orange is going to go ahead and start retreating. And not only that, that Johnson ends up giving us some lovely supplies, and that means we're going to be able to start spending this money again. All in all, definitely need to leave this infantry tech. We're going to start making some more air in our army, which will be nice. We're going to get that fortification upgrade. I'm surprised we're not doing reinforcements. I get it, we're only at 64 pop, but definitely a transition is needed and we need to get a beefier army. But now we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this push on this left hand side. We have Kinsano ready to go. We do have Inferno drop, so we're going to see if we can get our hero to come around and do a distraction. Meanwhile, the Colossus Scout is going to do a pretty strong job on the side. We got some Y moves being popped by our Nightingales in order to stop the Kodiaks from having full siege going on. And Kinsano's still working her happy way over to the main base with the cleansing beam going on with a mechanical overcharge to counter that, which is nice to see. But now we're going to see if the Inferno drop is going to be effective at all in order for us to try and get some good damage here. So there's the Inferno. Kinsano's using her Y move. We don't have the nozzle upgrade, but the Cyclops have all been eliminated that I had, but now I have drops as well to go ahead and try and reinforce the Cyclops, the Colossus that are over here. Restoration drone is ready too, so we're just going to drop everything all together, provide some heals for the I just went brain fart there because I just saw some Y moves because there are some vultures coming in from red. This is going to be a little bit terrifying. That means I need to immediately get this air pad up and start transitioning out of this, because vultures can be a problem if there is so much of them, as we've seen in previous videos. So we're going to try and keep this pressure going. We have decent momentum here with Johnson by our side. If we can keep the Colossus going in a positive manner, maybe we can go ahead and keep this push going. I'm starting vulture production of my own. We're going to focus down on the turrets to go ahead and get rid of them. And with what we've got, I think it's going to be enough. We have almost a max pop, so that means we can keep this pressure going as a whole. But they have plenty of Colossus and it's kind of left vulnerable right now, so I need to come reinforce it with some Nightingales to provide the heals and see if we can now get rid of the hero that has set up on this side. Right now, it's still looking pretty good of a push because we don't know what yellow is currently doing. And red was distracted by dark blue, so this does look like we have ourselves an opportunity over here to try and take out the base by orange. We have a Y move coming in by the vulture. Turns out we didn't even need to do that because the Colossus was ready. But now red has shown up on my base with the vultures and they're targeting. We have fortification level 2, which will be nice, but will it be enough to save the base? Absolutely not. So now red's going to go ahead and retreat. And you know what? We need to go back to keeping the pressure on orange. Yes, I did lose the base, but with the power of Johnson and Kinsano, maybe we'll have an opportunity to go ahead and wipe out orange's second base, because the rest of them are still on one base if I'm not mistaken. And yes, there are a lot of Kodiaks, but I do think this is still good enough for us to go ahead and fight. Y moves being used on the Kodiak to get rid of them, and we are getting rid of the tanks that are set up here as well, which means we have broken through on that side of the map. And with the amount of supply and power, even though I lost the base, I can still easily rebuild if I need to. But we now have a situation where we have red coming after my main base. We know it's coming, but we have an opportunity over here to get rid of orange's base. And if we are able to take that out, that's going to really put us ahead because orange doesn't have much of an army as a whole. And so I'm going to go ahead and just pop a Y move on the base to keep it hidden because the vultures do not have vision. So their only option is to use the Y move on things around my base, which will be fine. I'm getting stripped, but I did not end up losing my base, which that is a good sign. And now Red's vultures are going to just start falling back, but now the enemy ends up disconnecting because they did not stand a chance afterwards. We have the heals that's going to be used on the Johnson as thank you for tribute. Dark Blue has broken the right hand side, and that is going to be taken care of, and this game will be coming to a close soon. Great cleansing to get rid of that level 2 Cryo Trooper. Oh, I actually remember the name and that was not the right name for the unit. But if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. If you want more of this content, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell button. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this game as a whole. It had a great combination of teamwork, camaraderie, and of course, you gotta have a little bit of Vulture Wars. So I'm pinging to let them know, hey, I'm gonna take this teleporter. I know what Red's doing. Light Blue actually has a Condor ready to go, but it's not gonna be needed. We're gonna take this teleporter and we're gonna go ahead and fight what is left by Red. Because Red's still in this base surprisingly. A Mac comes down, Inferno's gonna come down, and this is just gonna be heavy eaten. And hopefully they end up resigning before they go ahead and get all these units destroyed. If not, you know, there we go. That was going to be on them. The timer probably expired, but all in all, this was a pretty cool game, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let's take a look at the stats very quick. Definitely most units built, and Apple Pie being so efficient. 17 for 74. That's why I was able to get all those resources when my base was destroyed. And Orange had a great supply game economy. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, or hour, and I will catch you in the next commentary video.